Hi there. I am here at High Cliff State Park in Wisconsin. It's been a very rainy weekend. We had lots of rain on Friday, and we have had a little bit of rain yesterday, and this morning it was raining pretty hard. But what better weather than for testing the Wenzel Ivanhoe 6. This tent's part of their tribute collection, which, as I understand, it's kind of like tents and gear that kind of harken back to older style camping. So if you look at the style of it's not a dome tent, it's more of the classic sort of style. I like this style. I grew up when I was younger. My parents had an old canvas tent in a similar shape. Theirs was a little bit bigger, but it was a similar style tent, and this one obviously doesn't use a canvas. It uses like the polyester fabric. Everything is weatherproofed. All the seams are taped. It performed very, very well in the rain. There was one spot inside the tent that there was a little bit of dripping, and I think it was just the way that the seam had been taped in that spot. There's actually a troubleshooting guide that's hanging down from one of the seams, and the tape is just over the top of it, and I think it just wasn't fully taped quite right. Otherwise, I'll go through some of the features of this tent. It's a pretty basic tent. Wenzel tends to be more for the budget friendly. This tent is under $200, but I'd say from my first impressions and having to deal with some rain this weekend, I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for a tent in this price range. This is supposedly a 6-person tent, but we have 4 of us in there right now. Me and my wife on a queen size air mattress, and my son is in his sleeping bag, and my daughter is 2, and she's still in the pack and play. It fits us okay, the 4 of us, but we have 2 smaller kids, so it's not like even 4 adults would. 4 adults could probably fit. It would be just kind of tight. You don't have much room to change and stuff. But I'll take you through some of the features, and we will we'll go over some of the things I like and the things I don't like. So first off, I like the overhang. There's windows on both sides. I have them closed because it's only in the low 50s this weekend. But both sides have these windows here, and one thing I don't like, but I understand because of the style of the tent, there are guy lines on all the way around the tent. There's 3 on the sides here, and there's 2 for the main poles. And then there's another one here for this back vent. I do really like the back vent and the window design with this overhang. We're on a kind of a hill, so it's not set up perfectly, but this overhang definitely helps to keep the water off the walls of the tent, and allows you to open up these side windows without having to worry about water coming in. You can't open them up all the way, but you can open them up a third of the way or so, which is nice. Especially, I mean, it was for our weekend. It was kind of cold, but you still need some ventilation. Otherwise you're going to get lots of condensation. One of the things I think was a decent idea, but the actual execution wasn't good. On each of these peaks, this is supposed to stand up like this and allow some ventilation, but it actually just flops down. I'm not really sure if there's something I could do differently to set this up, but I honestly think it's just a result of the design of this tent. I think the design itself, the idea was good, but the execution wasn't great. So there's very minimal air exchange through those because they kind of just flop down. Yeah, with these guy lines, I totally understand the need for them, but I wish they were like reflective or something, because we've had my kids have been tripping over them, especially at nighttime when you can't see. go inside. We haven't cleaned up in here, but it's kind of messy. But yeah, we have our air mattress here, pack and play, sleeping bag. And we have a little area where we can stand up and change. One issue I have, for me personally, I'm 6'5", and the peak of this tent is probably about 6 foot or just a little bit less. So I have to crouch down to stand up in here. See, this is me standing up. I have to bend my neck, so it's probably about 6 feet. So probably for the average person, it's a good height, but for me, it's a little too short. So here's the culprit. This is where the water has leaked through a little bit. Otherwise, the rest of the tent has stayed very dry. On the inside of the tent, there's these corner pockets, which are nice to have. Otherwise, it's a pretty basic tent. The doors will zip down, and you can actually roll them in on themselves, so they're not hanging there, which is nice. Or the windows. And these doors, it's got the upside down T style door, which when it's nice out, you can open up the outer rain layer of the door and get lots of airflow, which is great. The main reason we opted for this tent, we have a really nice Cabela's tent with a vestibule, and our thought was we would normally bring the Cabela's tent if we see any chance of like severe weather, rain, whatever, because it's got the vestibule. We can stick our gear, like our shoes and our gear, in outside of the tent, and it's protected, but it's not inside the living area of the tent. And our vestibule is big enough. We can stick lawn chairs in there and a stroller for our daughter. Our thought was we would use this tent with weekends that were supposedly supposed to be nicer, and it's a little bit easier to set up. It is a single wall tent, so you get some of the trade-offs for single wall versus standard dome double wall tent with like a full coverage rain fly. It's just more work to set up, but it does have a lot more protection against the weather and more breathability and whatnot. But this one has a good amount of windows, and they tried to do the vents up in the corner, and it sort of works. I'm overall very happy with this tent, especially for the price range. Yeah, we'll probably keep using this one on weekends that are nicer because it's just faster to set up. It's a little simpler. And then the bigger tent that we have, that's better for weather. We'll take that, and maybe and that one will be great for that sort of thing. So, well, this has been my review of the Wenzel Ivanhoe 6 at High Cliff State Park.